Kiamaka was just 5 years old, but her eyes held wisdom beyond her years. Living in the heart of the city, she often watched the hustle and bustle from the apartment window she shared with her parents. Her father, Obinna, was a successful businessman, always caught up in meetings, deals, and the constant race for more. Her mother, Nika, managed a busy catering business, leaving little time to listen to the ramblings of a child. One day, Kiamaka came home from school, her face pale and her usual vibrant energy dimmed. She had seen something disturbing, a dark figure lurking around her father's car in the parking garage. The man seemed to be tampering with something underneath the vehicle. Kiamaka ran up the stairs, her heart pounding, and burst into the living room where her parents were discussing their plans for a business dinner. "Dad, there was a man near your car. He looked suspicious, like he was doing something to it," she blurted out, breathless. Obinna barely looked up from his phone. "Not now, Kiamaka. I'm busy." "Listen to her," Nika said, half distracted by a recipe on her tablet. Maybe she saw something important. But Obinna waved them off. "It's probably just a mechanic checking something. Besides, what does she know about cars? She's just a child." Kiamaka persisted, tugging at her mother's sleeve. "Mom, it didn't look right. I think we should call the police." Nika sighed. "Kiamaka, stop worrying. We have a lot to do today." As the day went on, Kiamaka's anxiety grew, but her parents were too preoccupied with their own worlds to pay attention. That evening, Obinna drove off in the very car Kiamaka had warned them about. He was on his way to a business dinner, confident and assured that nothing could go wrong. After all, he had worked hard for everything he had. He didn't have time for the fears of a child. But as Obinna turned onto a busy highway, the car's engine began to sputter. The dashboard lights flickered, and before he could pull over, the brakes failed entirely. The car swerved uncontrollably, crashing into the divider with a loud, bone-jarring thud. The sound of metal crunching against concrete echoed through the streets, drawing a crowd of onlookers. Obinna was rushed to the hospital, and it was only by a miracle that he survived with minor injuries. As he lay in the hospital bed, shaken and bruised, the police informed him that the brakes had been tampered with. Someone had cut the brake lines. Obinna's mind raced back to Kiamaka's words. She had tried to warn him, and he had dismissed her without a second thought. The realization hit him like a cold wave. His daughter had seen the danger, but he had been too wrapped up in his own world to listen. When Nika and Kiamaka arrived at the hospital, Obinna reached out to his daughter, tears welling in his eyes. "I'm sorry, Kiamaka. I should have listened to you." Kiamaka hugged her father tightly, her small arms offering more comfort than Obinna had ever imagined. "It's okay, Dad. I'm just glad you're safe." As Obinna lay in the hospital bed, the police continued their investigation, determined to find the person responsible for the tampered brakes. The incident had sent shockwaves through the business community, and everyone was asking the same question: who would want to harm Obinna? It didn't take long for the police to piece together the puzzle. The man Kiamaka had seen was not just a random stranger. He was an ex-employee named Kelechi, who had recently been fired from Obinna's company. Kelechi was known for his temper and erratic behavior, but no one had anticipated that his resentment would escalate to such a dangerous level. Kelechi had been fired after a heated argument with Obinna over a failed project. Feeling humiliated and unjustly treated, Kelechi had vowed to take revenge, blaming Obinna for his misfortunes. In his twisted mind, sabotaging Obinna's car was a way to make him pay for the perceived injustice. With Kiamaka's description and CCTV footage from the parking garage, the police tracked Kelechi down within a week. He was found hiding in a rundown apartment on the outskirts of the city, trying to evade capture. When the police apprehended him, Kelechi confessed to everything, his anger still palpable. "I just wanted him to feel what it's like to lose something," Kelechi muttered during his confession. He took everything from me, so I wanted to take something from him. Kelechi was charged with attempted murder and reckless endangerment. As he was led away in handcuffs, Obinna and his family watched from a distance. The reality of how close they had come to tragedy weighed heavily on their minds. Back at the hospital, Obinna reflected on how his quick dismissal of Chiamaka's warning had almost cost him his life. It was a hard lesson, but one that he would never forget. He thanked the police for their swift action and, most importantly, he thanked his daughter for her keen observation and courage. "Chiamaka," Obinna said, holding her hand tightly, "you saved my life. I promise I will always listen to you from now on." Chiamaka nodded, a small but knowing smile on her face. "Thank you, Dad. I just want everyone to be safe." For Obinna, the incident was not just a wake-up call. It was a second chance, a chance to be more than just a provider, but a listener, a protector, and a father who truly heard the voice of his child. Obinna and Nika made a promise to always listen to their daughter, no matter how busy or preoccupied they were. They realized that wisdom isn't confined to age, and sometimes the most important voices are the ones that are often overlooked. Obinna's accident served as a powerful lesson to everyone around them. When a child speaks, it's not just words. They may see what adults overlook, hear what adults ignore, and know what adults dismiss. Listening to their voices could be the difference between safety and disaster, peace and regret. Chiamaka's parents learned this lesson the hard way, but they vowed never to forget it. They knew now that in the city, where life moves fast and distractions are many, the voice of a child might just be the one thing that saves the day. The moral lesson of this story is that we should always listen to our children, as their insights and warnings can be crucial and may protect us from unforeseen dangers.